My child, listen with a calm heart. This message comes not to frighten you, but to wake your awareness. What I speak of is not only money or land, it is your inheritance of peace, respect, truth, blessings, and rightful place. For a long time, you have trusted easily. You believed that blood meant protection, that family meant safety, that silence would keep harmony. But understand this gently, not everyone close to you understands the value of what you carry. Some around you, knowingly or unknowingly, have stepped into spaces that were meant for you. They spoke on your behalf without your consent. They made decisions assuming you would always adjust. They benefited while you stayed quiet. This is not betrayal spoken in anger. This is clarity spoken in light. Archangel Michael says, your inheritance is not cursed, lost, or stolen forever. But it can be delayed when you do not stand in your truth. You were taught to sacrifice. You were praised for patience. But no one told you that overgiving without boundaries slowly drains destiny. Hear this clearly now, you are not being asked to fight. You are not being asked to accuse. You are being asked to be aware. Awareness changes everything. When you stop ignoring red flags. When you stop dismissing your intuition. When you stop saying, it's okay, when it isn't. Your power quietly returns. Some people counted on your silence. Some assumed you would never speak up. Some believed you would always come last. But heaven has noticed your endurance. And now the message shifts. Archangel Michael says, stand tall, without shouting. Be firm, without hatred. Protect what is yours, without guilt. Your inheritance responds to self-respect. Your blessings respond to alignment. Your destiny responds when you stop shrinking. Nothing is too late. Nothing is permanently taken. But this moment matters. If this message found you, it is because your season of quiet loss is ending and your season of clear vision is beginning. Walk wisely. Speak truth when needed. And remember, what is divinely meant for you cannot be claimed by anyone else once you choose to stand in your rightful place. My child, remain steady as you listen. This continuation is not to create conflict, it is to restore balance. Archangel Michael says, what has been happening around you did not begin suddenly. It has been quiet, gradual, and subtle. Small decisions made without you. Conversations held when you were not present. Assumptions formed that you would always agree, always forgive, always step aside. You noticed the discomfort in your spirit, but you ignored it to keep peace. You felt something was off, but you chose patience over clarity. Understand this gently, peace that costs you your truth is not peace, it is postponement. Some people around you are not evil, but they are comfortable benefiting from your softness. They do not wake up planning harm, they simply assume you will not resist. And that is where the lesson begins. Archangel Michael says, your soul was not designed to compete with family, but it was never meant to disappear either. You are learning now that boundaries are not disrespect. Clarity is not rebellion. Speaking up does not make you ungrateful. You have outgrown the role of the silent carrier. The one who holds everything together while receiving the least. Notice how situations change the moment you pause before agreeing. Notice how energy shifts when you stop explaining yourself too much. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. Heaven is teaching you a new strength, quiet authority. You do not need to expose anyone. You do not need to prove your pain. Your awareness alone is enough to shift outcomes. Archangel Michael says, watch carefully. Listen more than you speak. Move wisely, not emotionally. What belongs to you responds when you stop abandoning yourself. This phase is about maturity, not revenge. About wisdom, not war. About reclaiming your place without breaking your heart. Trust this process. Your eyes are opening for a reason. And once awareness arrives, nothing can continue as it was before. My child, this is where the shift becomes visible. Not loud. Not dramatic. But undeniable. Archangel Michael says, the moment you stop staying silent, the atmosphere around you changes. You may notice hesitation in voices that once sounded confident. You may feel distance where familiarity once lived. This is not loss, this is rebalancing. When you no longer over-explain. When you no longer rush to please. When you pause before agreeing. Those who benefited from your quiet nature begin to feel uncertain. Understand this clearly, your silence was never weakness. But your awareness is now strength. Some people will test you. They will say, you've changed. They will say, you're being difficult. What they truly mean is, you are no longer easy to overlook. Archangel Michael says, do not fear this phase. This is the phase where truth separates comfort from character. You are not here to repeat old patterns. You are here to end them. Watch how responsibilities shift. Watch how conversations become careful. Watch how decisions suddenly include your presence. This is not manipulation, this is self-respect activating destiny. You are learning that love does not require self-erasure. That loyalty does not mean silence. That family does not mean surrendering your rightful place. Archangel Michael says, your inheritance responds the moment you stop shrinking yourself to fit others' expectations. You do not need to demand. You do not need to threaten. Your calm firmness speaks louder than confrontation ever could. This phase will feel unfamiliar. You may question yourself. You may feel guilt rise, but guilt is only the echo of old conditioning. Release it. You were never meant to carry everyone while being empty yourself. Stand steady now. The ground beneath you is adjusting to your weight, the weight of truth, clarity, and self-worth. And know this, those who truly love you will adapt. Those who do not were only comfortable with your silence. My child, receive this with peace, not pain. Everything you have experienced was not punishment, it was preparation. Archangel Michael says, heaven allowed this situation because you were meant to learn discernment without bitterness. If this had never happened, you would have continued giving without limits, trusting without wisdom, sacrificing without recognition. Your heart is pure, and purity must be protected, not exhausted. Some lessons cannot be taught gently. They must be revealed through experience. This situation showed you who listens when you speak, who remembers when you are absent, who values you when you stop overgiving. Not to hurt you, but to teach you clarity. Archangel Michael says, you are not losing family. You are losing illusions. And illusions leaving may feel like grief, but they create space for truth to enter. Heaven did not allow this to break you. It allowed this to position you correctly. Now you see where to be open and where to be reserved. Where to give freely and where to pause. This is wisdom forming. You are no longer meant to carry responsibilities that were never yours. You are no longer meant to absorb imbalance in the name of love. Balance is divine order. Archangel Michael says, when you respect yourself, the universe reorganizes around that respect. Notice how you feel lighter when you stop forcing harmony. Notice how clarity brings calm, even if it brings distance. Distance is not always separation. Sometimes it is protection. This chapter was allowed because your future requires stronger boundaries, clearer vision, and a heart that remains soft without being exploited. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was unfair. Every moment refined you. And now, as this lesson completes, a new alignment begins to form, one where your inheritance, in all its forms, moves back into its rightful place. My child, this is where divine timing begins to move quietly but powerfully. Nothing rushes, yet nothing remains stuck. Archangel Michael says, when you step into alignment, correction happens naturally. What was delayed starts finding its way back. What was overlooked begins to be remembered. What was decided without you now requires your presence. This does not happen through arguments. It happens through order. You may notice sudden pauses in plans that once moved without resistance. You may sense people becoming cautious, reconsidering, rechecking. This is not fear, this is awareness meeting accountability. Archangel Michael says, heaven does not expose in chaos. It corrects in silence. You will not need to chase what is yours. What belongs to you responds to clarity, not force. This phase asks you to remain steady. Do not rush to explain yourself now. Do not over-justify your boundaries. Let consistency speak. Some doors reopen in unexpected ways. Some conversations return with a different tone. Some promises resurface after long silence. This is divine recalibration. Archangel Michael says, your patience was not wasted, it matured you. Your silence was not foolish, it prepared you. But now, silence has served its purpose. You are learning when to speak and when to let presence speak for you. Notice how your inner world feels stronger. Notice how you no longer fear being misunderstood. That is power. Nothing that was meant to be permanently yours can be taken away. At most, it can be paused until you are ready to hold it without losing yourself. You are ready now. Stand firm in humility. Stay open in wisdom. Move forward without bitterness. Because what returns to you in this season returns with stability, not struggle. And know this, divine justice does not announce itself, it reveals itself through balance restored. My child, This is the most important turning point, the change that happens inside you. Archangel Michael says, what ensures this cycle never repeats is not others changing, it is you choosing yourself without fear. Before, you questioned your instincts. You wondered if you were overthinking. You doubted your right to pause, to ask, to protect. Now, something is different. You listen to your inner signal. You feel the warning gently, and you respect it. You no longer override your own knowing to keep peace. This is mastery. Archangel Michael says, discernment is a divine gift. You are finally using it without guilt. You are learning that saying, "Let me think," is powerful. That silence can be intentional, not submissive. That love does not require immediate access to you. This inner shift is subtle, but permanent. Because once you stop betraying yourself, no one else can step into that role. You will notice how future situations feel clearer from the start. Red flags appear sooner. Energy speaks louder than words. This is not suspicion, this is wisdom. Archangel Michael says, your heart remains pure, but your eyes are now open. You no longer confuse kindness with obligation. You no longer confuse loyalty with self-neglect. You no longer confuse patience with silence. This is growth. And because of this inner alignment, your inheritance, emotional, spiritual, and material, remains protected going forward. No repeating cycles. No quiet losses. No unspoken resentment. Only balance. Stand confidently now. You are not hard, you are clear. You are not distant, you are grounded. You are not selfish, you are aligned. This is the version of you heaven prepared. My child, now observe what happens around you. Archangel Michael says, when your inner world settles into clarity, your outer world must adjust. Relationships begin to reveal their true foundation. Some grow stronger, calmer, more respectful, more balanced. Others grow quieter, not because of anger, but because access has changed. This is not punishment. This is alignment. Those who value you will meet you where you stand. They will listen more carefully. They will include you naturally. They will respect your pace without questioning your worth. Others may step back. Not because you did something wrong, but because they were connected to an older version of you. Archangel Michael says, do not chase anyone in this phase. Let relationships find their new position organically. You will notice that conversations feel lighter with the right people. You will feel less drained, less confused, less obligated. Your presence will be appreciated, not assumed. This is how you know alignment is working. Some may test boundaries once more, gently, subtly. This is not regression. It is confirmation. And each time you remain calm and firm, the lesson locks in deeper. Archangel Michael says, you are learning that access to you is a privilege, not a right. This does not make you distant. It makes you safe with yourself. The relationships that remain will feel different. Mutual. Balanced. Honest. No silent competitions. No unspoken expectations. No emotional debts. Only clarity. If someone leaves your life in this phase, do not grieve as if you lost something valuable. Understand that space was required for your next chapter. Heaven is not removing love, it is refining it. Remain grounded. Remain observant. Remain kind, but no longer available at the cost of your peace. Because now, you are standing where you were always meant to stand. My child, this is where stability replaces struggle. Archangel Michael says, once relationships realign, your inheritance settles into place, not through force, but through order. What once felt uncertain begins to feel grounded. What once caused anxiety now brings clarity. You no longer feel like you must defend your position, it becomes naturally recognized. This is not sudden gain. This is steady security. You may notice responsibilities becoming fairer. Resources being discussed instead of assumed. Your name being included where it was once forgotten. These are signs of balance returning. Archangel Michael says, inheritance is not only what you receive, it is what you are no longer forced to lose. Your energy is protected now. Your time is respected. Your contribution is acknowledged. Even if nothing dramatic happens outwardly at first, inside you feel something powerful, certainty. Certainty that you will not be overlooked again. Certainty that you will speak when needed. Certainty that you will not abandon yourself for acceptance. This certainty stabilizes everything. Archangel Michael says, what is built on clarity lasts longer than what is built on silence. You are now positioned to receive without fear and to give without depletion. The chaos phase has ended. The correction phase is completing. The stability phase has begun. You will no longer feel like something is being taken from you unseen. What belongs to you recognizes your presence. Remain patient in this season. Stability grows quietly. No rush. No drama. No loss. Only alignment holding what is yours in place. And know this deeply, nothing that is truly yours can slip away again, because you now stand aware, grounded, and whole. My child, now understand this, stability is not the end. It is the foundation. Archangel Michael says, when balance is restored, heaven can safely introduce what comes next. Because blessings cannot rest on unstable ground. You have cleared confusion. You have corrected imbalance. You have learned to stand without shrinking. Now, space has opened. An unexpected opportunity begins forming, quietly at first. It may arrive through a conversation, a reconnection, or a door you thought was already closed. Do not dismiss small beginnings. Archangel Michael says, blessings often arrive disguised as ordinary moments. This is not about sudden wealth or dramatic change. It is about support appearing at the right time. Help when you no longer feel desperate. Relief when you are no longer forcing. Recognition when you are no longer asking. This is divine timing. You may feel guided to say yes to something you would have ignored before. Or guided to say no, and that no protects a bigger yes ahead. Trust this guidance. Archangel Michael says, your intuition is now clear because it is no longer clouded by guilt or fear. This next blessing aligns with your growth. It will not drain you. It will not test your boundaries. It will respect who you have become. Remain observant, not anxious. Grateful, not attached. Open, not rushing. You are entering a season where things add to your life instead of taking from it. And understand this blessing is not compensation for pain, it is confirmation of alignment. What comes next will feel calm, rightful, and steady. Not overwhelming. Not chaotic. Just right. My child, this is how you will recognize what heaven is placing before you. Archangel Michael says, the right blessing does not arrive with confusion, it arrives with quiet clarity. You will not feel rushed. You will not feel pressured. You will not feel the need to overthink or seek validation. Instead, you will feel a calm inner yes. It may not look impressive at first glance. It may feel simple, even ordinary. But inside you, there will be no resistance. That is the sign. Archangel Michael says, what is meant for you aligns with your peace, not your fear. You will notice that this opportunity respects your boundaries. It does not demand you shrink. It does not ask you to compromise your values. It fits the version of you that has grown. If something triggers anxiety, urgency, or self-doubt, pause, do not force it. Divine blessings do not require panic. This is where your discernment protects you. You will also notice synchronicity. Small confirmations. Repeated signs that feel reassuring, not overwhelming. Not dramatic miracles, but steady alignment. Archangel Michael says, when heaven opens a door, it does not need to shout. Trust what feels balanced. Trust what allows you to breathe. Trust what does not pull you back into old patterns. You are no longer learning lessons through pain. You are now learning through clarity. And because of this, you will not miss what is meant for you. You will recognize it, not with excitement alone, but with peace. Stand grounded. Move slowly. Allow what is right to unfold naturally. Because what arrives in this season is not meant to test you, it is meant to support you. My child, this is where the cycle gently closes. Archangel Michael says, when you accept what is aligned, the past no longer has power over you. Old wounds lose their voice. Old fears stop directing your choices. Old patterns dissolve without effort. Not because you fought them, but because you outgrew them. This blessing, when accepted calmly and consciously, marks the end of a long season of endurance. You are no longer surviving. You are stabilizing. Archangel Michael says, completion does not always feel dramatic. Often, it feels like relief. Relief that you no longer need to prove yourself. Relief that you no longer need to carry what was never yours. Relief that life feels simpler, clearer, lighter. This is the sign of closure. You may reflect on the past and feel gratitude instead of pain. Understanding instead of resentment. Strength instead of regret. This means the lesson has integrated. Archangel Michael says, what once tested you now becomes wisdom you carry quietly. This cycle closes not with confrontation, but with self-respect fully established. And because it is complete, it will not repeat in a different form. You have learned to see. You have learned to choose. You have learned to stand. This chapter ends with balance restored, within you and around you. Rest in this knowing. You did not lose time. You did not lose yourself. You were being prepared. And now, as this cycle completes, a new one begins, not from lack, but from alignment. My child, now look ahead with calm confidence. Archangel Michael says, the future opening before you is not built on struggle, it is built on clarity, choice, and balance. You are stepping into a phase where life feels more intentional. You choose where to give. You choose who has access. You choose without guilt. This is freedom. In this future, you will notice that problems no longer linger. They are addressed early or dissolve on their own. Misunderstandings do not grow into wounds. Boundaries prevent pain before it begins. Archangel Michael says, wisdom shortens suffering. Your days feel steadier. Your nights feel quieter. Your heart feels less guarded because it is no longer exposed. This future is not loud or dramatic. It is consistent. You will build slowly but securely. What you create now, relationships, stability, purpose, lasts because it is rooted in truth. And here is what matters most, you will no longer fear losing what is yours. Because you know how to protect it, without hardness. Archangel Michael says, this future reflects who you have become, not who you used to be. You carry discernment without suspicion. Strength without anger. Compassion without self-sacrifice. This balance becomes your new normal. If challenges arise, they will meet a grounded version of you. Not someone who freezes. Not someone who overgives. Someone who stands. Take comfort in this. The road ahead is not uncertain, it is clear. You are walking forward not because you were pushed, but because you are ready. My child, carry this truth with you always. Archangel Michael says, you were never meant to disappear for the comfort of others. Your presence is not a burden. Your voice is not a problem. Your inheritance, in every form, is not negotiable. Never forget this. You were chosen to be aware, not anxious. To be kind, not consumed. To be strong, not silent. If ever you feel tempted to shrink again, remember how clarity changed everything. Remember how standing gently but firmly restored balance. Remember how peace returned when you chose yourself. Archangel Michael says, self-respect is not ego, it is alignment with divine order. You do not need to announce who you are. Your energy speaks now. Your boundaries speak. Your calm speaks. And those who meet you in this season will meet the real you, not the version that endured quietly, but the version that stands rooted in truth. Walk forward without fear of being misunderstood. Those meant to understand you will. You are protected, not because you fight, but because you are aligned. And when you look back one day, you will see clearly, nothing was taken from you. Everything was returned in wisdom. This message ends here, but the strength it awakened in you remains. Stand in it. Live from it. And never forget your worth, my child. This is the seal placed upon everything you have learned. Archangel Michael says, from this moment forward, you move differently, not because you are guarded, but because you are grounded. You no longer react from old wounds. You respond from awareness. You do not rush to explain yourself. You allow truth to stand on its own. This is authority without force. If challenges arise, they will not shake you as before. You will feel them, but they will not control you. You will see clearly where to engage and where to step back in peace. Archangel Michael says, not every battle is yours, and you now know the difference. What is meant to reach you will do so without struggle. What is not meant to stay will leave without chaos. This is divine order working through you. Carry humility, but never self-erasure. Carry compassion, but never self-neglect. Carry faith, but never blindness. You are walking with open eyes and a steady heart. This message ends not with urgency, but with confidence. Confidence that you are protected. Confidence that you are guided. Confidence that what is yours remains secure. Archangel Michael says, go forward in peace. Nothing behind you can pull you back now. You are aligned. You are aware. You are complete. My child, this is where your journey continues, not as a lesson, but as a lifestyle. Archangel Michael says, what you have learned is no longer something you practice occasionally. It becomes the way you live, speak, choose, and rest. You will notice that you no longer seek reassurance the way you once did. You trust your inner knowing. You trust the pause before a decision. You trust the calm that follows alignment. This is maturity of the soul. You move forward now without carrying old explanations. You do not need to justify why you protect your peace. Those who are meant to walk with you will understand without being convinced. Archangel Michael says, you are not closing your heart, you are guarding your direction. Your future choices will feel simpler. Not because life has no complexity, but because you no longer invite confusion inside. You will choose environments that nourish you. Conversations that respect you. Paths that do not demand self-betrayal. And when uncertainty appears, you will not panic. You will wait. Because waiting no longer feels like weakness, it feels like wisdom. Archangel Michael says, patience guided by clarity always leads to the right outcome. From this point onward, you do not lose yourself in others' expectations. You do not carry emotional debts that are not yours. You walk your path fully present. This is not a dramatic ending. It is a strong beginning. The chapter of silent endurance is closed. The chapter of grounded living has opened. And as you continue forward, remember, you do not need to be louder to be seen. You do not need to be harder to be respected. You only need to remain aligned. This is your way now. My child, now you are learning how to remain steady, even when life moves around you. Archangel Michael says, alignment is not proven in quiet moments alone, it is revealed when circumstances try to pull you back into old habits. You may notice familiar situations return in a new form. Not to trap you, but to show you how much you have changed. This time, you will not react the same way. You will not rush to fix. You will not carry responsibility that does not belong to you. And that is how you know growth is real. Archangel Michael says, strength is calm repetition of truth, not emotional effort. You will handle pressure with pause, expectation with discernment, requests with clarity. Some moments will test your patience, but they will not disturb your peace for long. Because peace now lives inside you, not in outcomes. You are learning to trust timing without anxiety. To trust silence without fear. To trust yourself without second guessing. This is steadiness. Archangel Michael says, a grounded soul cannot be rushed, confused, or manipulated. You move forward without proving anything. You allow results to speak. You allow truth to unfold naturally. And even when things feel slow, know this: nothing is stalled, it is simply secure. You are building on solid ground now. No cracks beneath your feet. No shifting foundation. Remain present. Remain patient. Remain aligned. Because from this place of steadiness, everything you build next will last. My child, this is how you know the transformation is complete. Archangel Michael says, you no longer feel the need to look back. Not in bitterness. Not in longing. Not in self-doubt. What once demanded your attention now feels distant and small. What once drained you no longer reaches you. This is confirmation. You will notice moments where old triggers appear, and nothing rises inside you. No urge to defend. No urge to explain. No urge to fix. Peace responds before reaction. Archangel Michael says, when silence feels safe instead of heavy, healing is complete. You have stopped measuring your worth through others' behavior. You have stopped waiting for fairness to be announced. You have stopped hoping people will finally see you. Because you see yourself. This is freedom. Life now meets you with fewer struggles, not because challenges vanish, but because they meet a grounded soul. Archangel Michael says, what cannot control you can no longer drain you. You move forward without emotional residue. Each step is clean. Each decision is clear. This quiet confidence will surprise even you. And when blessings come now, you will receive them without disbelief. Without fear of loss. Without questioning if you deserve them. Because you know. This is the confirmation heaven wanted you to feel, not excitement, but certainty. Remain in this calm strength. It is your true protection. You have arrived. My child, this is the state heaven wanted you to reach. Archangel Michael says, balance is not something you chase anymore, it is something you carry. You no longer swing between hope and disappointment. You no longer brace yourself for loss. You live from a centered place, where outcomes do not define your worth. This is lasting balance. You will notice that your decisions feel lighter. Even serious choices do not feel heavy. Because you are no longer deciding from fear, you are deciding from alignment. Archangel Michael says, a balanced soul attracts stability naturally. People meet you differently now. Situations resolve faster. What once felt complicated now feels straightforward. This does not mean life is perfect. It means you are no longer at war within yourself. And because of this inner harmony, nothing external can easily disturb you. You give without depletion. You receive without guilt. You rest without feeling undeserving. This is wholeness. Archangel Michael says, wholeness is the true inheritance. Not something that can be taken. Not something that can be delayed. Not something anyone else can touch. You carry it wherever you go. From this point forward, even when life changes, you remain steady. Even when others fluctuate, you remain clear. Even when the future unfolds in unexpected ways, you remain grounded. This balance is not temporary. It is the result of everything you have learned, released, and chosen. Hold it gently. Protect it wisely. Live from it fully. Because now, nothing is missing. My child, understand this clearly. Balance does not mean the journey ends. It means the journey changes its rhythm. Archangel Michael says, you will still grow, but without struggle. You will still learn, but without pain being the teacher. You will still move forward, but without losing yourself along the way. This is the continuing path. You are no longer being corrected. You are being guided. Opportunities will now appear that match your steadiness. Not chaotic chances. Not rushed decisions. But openings that feel respectful of your time, energy, and values. Archangel Michael says, when you walk in alignment, the path meets you halfway. You may be called to step into roles that require calm leadership. People may seek your presence, not for rescue, but for clarity. This is because you no longer carry emotional noise. You will notice that your words hold weight, even when few. Your presence reassures, even without effort. This is influence without force. Archangel Michael says, your life now becomes an example, not a lesson learned the hard way. Walk humbly, but do not shrink. Remain kind, but do not overextend. Stay open, but do not abandon discernment. The path ahead will unfold step by step, and each step will feel right, not because it is easy, but because it is aligned. And as you continue, remember, you are not trying to become someone new. You are simply living as who you already are. My child, this is the truth that keeps you centered wherever life leads you. Archangel Michael says, nothing outside of you holds your stability anymore. Not people. Not outcomes. Not approval. Not loss. You have learned where your center lives, and it lives within. This understanding changes everything. You no longer fear change, because change does not remove your grounding. You no longer fear endings, because endings do not define your worth. You no longer fear delay, because delay no longer means denial. Archangel Michael says, when your center is internal, nothing external can unmake you. Life will still move. Circumstances will still shift. But you will remain rooted. You will respond instead of react. You will choose instead of endure. You will trust instead of force. This is sovereignty of the soul. You now understand that inheritance was never just about what you receive, it was about who you become while protecting what is yours. And who you have become cannot be diminished, replaced, or overlooked. Archangel Michael says, carry this understanding quietly. You do not need to explain it. It will guide you naturally. Wherever you go, this center goes with you. And from this place, every future chapter will unfold not in fear, but in clarity. This is the understanding that lasts. My child, this is how everything you have learned now moves with you. Archangel Michael says, you no longer walk seeking protection, you walk as someone protected by awareness. What once needed constant vigilance now rests in quiet confidence. You do not scan for danger. You simply recognize truth when it appears. This is grace in motion. As you go forward, you will notice that life responds faster to you. Not because you control it, but because you are no longer resisting yourself. Doors open without force. Paths clear without struggle. People show you who they are quickly. This is efficiency born from alignment. Archangel Michael says, when the soul is settled, destiny flows. You will bless spaces simply by being present. Not through effort. Not through sacrifice. But through steadiness. Your calm will calm others. Your clarity will bring order. Your boundaries will teach without words. And here is the final truth, nothing that tried to diminish you succeeded. Nothing that delayed you defeated you. Nothing that tested you broke you. It refined you. Archangel Michael says, carry forward without fear of repetition. What you have learned cannot be unlearned. You are no longer who you were at the beginning of this message. And that is the greatest inheritance of all. Walk gently. Stand firmly. Live freely. This path continues, but now, it continues with you fully present. The message is complete. The strength remains. My child, this is what remains long after the message ends. Archangel Michael says, what you have gained is not only for you, it becomes a quiet legacy. Not something you announce. Not something you explain. But something others feel in your presence. You will notice that people treat you differently now. With more care. More respect. More honesty. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy no longer invites disorder. Archangel Michael says, a soul in alignment teaches without speaking. Those who come after you, whether family, loved ones, or those who observe you quietly, will learn from how you move. They will see that strength can be calm. That love can have boundaries. That dignity does not need permission. This is the legacy. You break patterns without confrontation. You end cycles without revenge. You heal lines without carrying blame. Archangel Michael says, this is how generational weight dissolves, one aware soul at a time. You were chosen not to carry pain forward, but to end it with wisdom. And because you chose awareness over resentment, clarity over conflict, balance over burden, what flows from you now will not wound others, it will steady them. Walk forward knowing this, your life is no longer just a response to the past. It is a foundation for the future. Quiet, strong, intact. This is the legacy you carry. My child, this is where everything settles into peace. Archangel Michael says, there comes a moment when nothing more needs to be fixed, proven, or healed. This is that moment. You will notice longer pauses of stillness in your life. Moments where nothing is demanded of you. Moments where you are simply present, and that is enough. This is not emptiness. This is completion. You are no longer processing the past or preparing defensively for the future. You are living here, fully grounded. Archangel Michael says, stillness is not inactivity, it is mastery. From this place, your choices are clean. Your intentions are clear. Your actions are measured and true. You do not rush joy. You do not chase peace. You allow both to arrive naturally. And when challenges come, as life always brings them, they meet someone who is no longer shaken at the core. Archangel Michael says, a settled soul cannot be destabilized. This is the final gift of the journey, not excitement, not struggle, not anticipation, but ease. Ease in being yourself. Ease in saying yes or no. Ease in trusting life as it unfolds. Carry this stillness with reverence. It is rare. It is earned. It is sacred. Nothing more is required of you now. Just live, aligned, aware, and whole. This is where the message truly rests. My child, now life begins to flow through you, not against you. Archangel Michael says, when inner stillness is established, effort becomes lighter. You are no longer pushing life forward, you are walking with it. You will notice that days unfold with less resistance. Even busy moments feel organized. Even uncertainty feels manageable. This is not luck. This is alignment expressing itself in motion. Archangel Michael says, when the soul is settled, action becomes precise. You will act when needed, not from urgency, but from clarity. You will rest when needed, not from exhaustion, but from wisdom. Nothing feels wasted anymore. People may wonder how you remain calm while moving forward. They may feel supported simply by your presence. This is not something you learn to perform, it is who you have become. Archangel Michael says, flow is the reward of self-trust. You trust your timing. You trust your decisions. You trust that what is meant for you will meet you without struggle. And when something does not move forward, you no longer interpret it as rejection. You recognize redirection. This understanding keeps your heart open and your steps steady. Live gently in this flow. Do not rush it. Do not question it. Because now, life is no longer testing you, it is responding to you. My child, this is the final truth that keeps everything effortless. Archangel Michael says, flow remains when you do not abandon yourself. Not in big decisions. Not in small compromises. Not in moments when it would be easier to return to old habits. Staying in flow is simple, you listen inward before you move outward. When something feels heavy, you pause. When something feels calm, you proceed. When something feels forced, you step back. This is the key. Archangel Michael says, flow is not created by doing more, it is preserved by honoring truth in the moment. You no longer betray your inner signal for approval. You no longer override clarity for speed. You no longer confuse urgency with importance. This protects everything you have built. You will notice that life corrects itself quickly now. Small misalignments are felt early. Adjustments are gentle, not painful. This is mastery. Archangel Michael says, a soul that listens does not need rescue. Remain honest with yourself. Remain patient with timing. Remain soft without becoming unprotected. You do not need constant effort to stay aligned. You only need consistency with your inner truth. And when you live this way, flow does not come and go, it stays. Because it is no longer something you enter. It is something you live from. This is the final key. Carry it quietly. Use it daily. Nothing more is required.